Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another live sports edition of Outspoken right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Andre Davis, coming to you live from the second floor of the Memorial Student Center, better known as the MSC. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. We got a jam-packed show for you today. I am joined by two special guests. I call them guests, but they are no strangers to Outspoken. I got my main man, Mr. Clifton Monroe. Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the show. And we are joined by Mr. Owen Roberts himself. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I gotta get your hey, I know y'all can't see him, but Owen has this slick, curly hair. He looked like one of them El DeBar's looking types. Man, are you related to them in any shape, form, or fashion, man? I just want to know.
Not that I know of.
I really want to know. Like, you're not joking, are you? Seriously?
I'm serious.
You're not related to them whatsoever.
No. Maybe in the air, probably, but not that I know of. No.
Well, man, you gotta give me your hair care products or whatever you're working, man, that's keeping the hair nice and slick, man, because it's just looking awesome right now. I just want to let you know that.
Thank you, man. I just started using like just hair stuff for your hair, like. I don't know, man.
Oh, man. Oh, and that's why I like you, man. That's why I keep bringing you back on the show, man.
Appreciate it.
Man, again, you too. So the both of y'all, thank y'all so much for joining us for today's show, man. As I mentioned, we have a jam-packed show for you today. If you are tuning in for the first time, we go commercial-free here on Outspoken for 1 hour long. So we're going to waste no time. We're going to get right off into it. Guys, a lot happened this week, particularly in the world of the NBA. It was the NBA debut this week. So, yes, a lot of teams played this week. But for the Eastern Conference, for the Western Conference, there's only two games in particular that I really want to discuss. We're going to jump right up into it. So the first game, the Houston Rockets were victorious against the Golden State Warriors by the score of 122 to 121. Now, we all know Golden State Warriors are the defending 2016 NBA champions.
Yes.
And I believe at the beginning of the game they had their ring ceremony. So, on paper, nonetheless, Golden State was expected to win this game. Even though the Houston have an excellent team, yes. You got James Harden. They just added Chris Paul in the offseason. You got Trevor Ariza. You got all these moving parts on Houston, but nonetheless, on paper, Golden State was expected to win this game. And honestly, they were winning majority of the game. Houston came back in the second half. So, and then they ended up winning the game 122 to 121. So, I'm going to start with you. In that game, what did you see in that game? Honestly, as we all know, Golden State was expected to win. So, what was your reaction at the final buzzer when you realized that they lost by one?
That Houston Rockets can be a great competitor this year. Like, they can really make or break a team. Like they came close to beating the Golden State Warriors.
Now, I really want to go deeper than that, y'all, because I get it. They're a great team. You know, they're a very competitive team. I get all that. They was competitive last year. They made it past the first round last year. Now, I understand all that, even though they fell short to the San Antonio Spurs. But nonetheless, don't do that. You doing a little fist bump. Now, we're going to get in San Antonio in the minute. I got a few things about them I'm going to say, but that's neither here nor there. But nonetheless, we understand that they were a very competitive team. They always have been.
Yeah.
Even on paper, they was not. I didn't have them winning this game. Nobody else did. And at the beginning of the game, Golden State was running them boys off the court.
Yeah.
So, Owen, what happened, man? What was your reaction to that loss?
I was really surprised that the shot didn't get off. I was really surprised about that shot that didn't get off. I thought when I saw the score a few days ago, I was like, man.
Now, you know what that tells me? That means he started shooting. He's not release the ball quicker.
He's not.
But it was an excellent shot, though.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah. Even in front of him.
Yes.
It was an excellent shot. But, at the end of the day, you know what I pulled from that? Regardless of the fact that it went in and everybody like, oh, man, they should have counted, You know what? Forget all that. You should have let them come back anyway. I believe you had close to, an 18-point lead.
Yeah, they had an 8. Yeah, they did.
There's no way that you're defending 2016 NBA champions, the super team. Everybody's calling. I don't even like to play Madden no more. I hate, not Madden, 2K. I hate when people get Golden State. I don't even play with them because it's just unfair.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be this super team. There's no way, no excuses. There's no way that they should even come back. Not only come back, take the lead, and ultimately beat you at the end of the game.
It goes to show that anyone can get beat in a game. You know, no matter how good of a team you have, whether it's on paper or whether it's live, you should not have given up an 18-point lead in that game.
Now, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Owen. What does this mean for Golden State moving forward?
Oh.
What does this mean going forward? Yes, I get it. For those of you listening, it was just one game. It's a long season. I get all that. This is outspoken. Yeah. We make bold predictions here. So I want to ask you, what does this mean for Golden State moving forward? I just want to hear what you got to say about it.
This is not this is an unfazing moment for. This is not phase Golden State whatsoever. It was the first game of the season. I know they lost, but we have more games to go. I believe it's still an 82-game season.
Yes, sir.
So throughout that, it's a very long season. So a lot could happen, you know, throughout that whole season, and they're not fazed by it. I think they know what they're doing.
Now, there's only one thing that I really want to pull from that game that really just shocked me, because you're right, Owen. I agree with you. This doesn't faze them one bit. I really want to see what you had to say. I want to see what you had to say about that, because I agree with you. It doesn't faze them one bit. It's a long season. They will ultimately make it back to the Western Conference Finals and, in fact, the NBA Finals. But there's one thing that I really want to pull from that game, and his name is Chris Paul.
Yeah.
The guy that joined forces with James Harden. Well, not even just joined forces. He was an addition to the Houston Rockets in the offseason. They picked him up. There was a lot of hype behind him. Well, you really had two sides. You had one side saying, well, you know, he's kind of washed up a little bit. He's not going to be a contribution to the Houston Rockets. Then you got one people go, what? You mean tell me with James Harden and Chris Paul, they're not going to be making some noise in the West? Are you kidding me? I was kind of in the middle, you know. I've always been a Chris Paul fan. I was honestly kind of glad when that he left the Clippers. You know, he turned down a lot of money on the table because that's just a waste pool, you know, for the Clippers. Nobody wants to play for Doc Rivers anymore. Honestly, Blake Griffin is going to be on his way out pretty soon, even though he just signed that new contract once that contract is up, because nobody wants to play for Doc Rivers. But in that game, Chris Paul only had 4 points in the entire game. Yes, he had 10 assists.
Yeah, he did have 10 assists, though. I mean, he was passing the ball.
Yeah. Did y'all see it, though? You're supposed to be CP3. I didn't tune into the game just to watch you stand in the corner and watch James Harden do all the work. The same thing he was doing.
Yeah.
I saw all that last year. I saw that.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, James Harden did carry that team last year.
I saw that last year. And we didn't put you on the team to be a Patrick Beverly type, you know, just stand in the corner and watch James Harden do all the work. We saw that last year.
Yeah.
Did we not?
Yeah, we did.
We did. That's why he was in the MVP running race. He still is. But I mean,
can, at the end of the day, and I may be stepping out on the ledge when I say this, but I can find somebody that can get me 10 assists a game.
Yeah,
I can find that. That's not. Well, I'm not saying that's not hard. I mean, it's the NBA, but my thing is, you got a lot of point guards that can do that. You got a lot of free agent point guards that can at least get you 8 to 10 assists a game.
Yeah.
But think about it. When you think about Chris Paul, CP3, the name itself,
it stands out.
The name stands out.
I mean, I don't expect to see that. I don't expect to see that number. I don't expect to see those stats.
Yeah.
4 points.
Yeah.
You know? Now, on one hand, people may look at that and go, "Yeah, Chris Paul only had 4 points, and Houston won." Because it's easy to make that argument. You know, Houston would have lost that game. They look at the fact that, well, Chris Paul only had 4 points. Well, that goes your problem. You got your other shooting guard, that being Chris Paul, only had 4 points. He didn't contribute enough. He didn't do enough. But in this particular case, they won, and he only had 4 points. That's why I asked you what I asked you, Owen. What does this mean moving forward?
And to your point, Andre, you can also say, how are you having Eric Gordon scoring 27 points off the bench and you score 4 points? So that can also be another side of the coin and be like, you're CP3.
Eric Gordon did his thing.
Yes.
He definitely did his thing. I mean, he showed some stuff in that game. I was kind of skeptical for a minute. I was like, Eric Gordon, do you got it? You know what I'm saying? I was kind of, I didn't really know. And he answered that question for everybody. Yes, I still got it. Yes, I still got the ups. For all you wondering, you know, I got it.
I might be on the bench, but I still have it.
Now, the only question for him is, since it is a long season, can you keep this up for the whole season?
Yes, consistency, yes. Consistency.
Like
I feel like
well, that'll be another topic, another discussion for another day. But moving right along, in the same conference, San Antonio Spurs.
Yes.
Took care of business. Took care of business. Do you stop it?
Sure did. They sure did.
Ain't you from ain't you a Houston fan? Yeah.
It's still a Texas team.
I'm a Dallas fan. That's just like I'm not about to root for San Antonio. We can't stand each other, but just because it's another Texas team, no.
It's not like I could be another fan. All we have is an Austin Spurs D-League team. That's not a professional team.
Yeah, you told me. That's not my problem.
Yeah, so, okay, so what's closer to Austin?
Hey, man, you tell me. I'm sorry. I personally understand why the fact that that's the state's capital. I mean, at the end of the day, well, you got a population of 500.
Yeah.
You pass through, you pass by, and there goes Austin. That's neither here nor there, though. But San Antonio took care of business against the Wolves by a score of 107 to 99.
Yep.
They handled. All right, Clifton. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna give them the praise. You know,
my boy Kawhi.
Without Kawhi, without Tony Parker,
Defensive Player of the Year last year. He got robbed.
Well, he won it 2 years in a row before that.
He should have got it again. I mean, he played a great game.
You know what?
A basketball. Every year he plays a great game.
I'm gonna step on the ledge here and say that wasn't a cheat play by Zaza Pachulia. I'm gonna say it. You're right. That wasn't a cheat.
They could have won the game.
I mean, come on, man.
How was he supposed to know that he was about to land in his landing area?
He intentionally did this.
How do you know that?
So you were saying
Zaza Pachulia's head. Do you know what he was thinking at the
time?
Like,
I'm going to get out the best player because I know they have no chance without Kawhi.
Why?
For the safety of the players.
He carries a team like James Harden does.
No.
Oh, my God.
For the safety of the players. So
you know what? They still should have took care of business like they took care of business against Minnesota Timberwolves last night without Kawhi Leonard and without Tony Parker. You know what your biggest problem in that whole scenario? It wasn't Kawhi. It wasn't the fact that it was a quote-unquote cheap shot by Zaza Pachulia. It was LaMarcus Aldridge. That was your problem. His inconsistency in the postseason. I don't know what it is.
Yes, he was very consistent.
Yeah, because you know
he had to play.
He was inconsistent with his play.
Tim Duncan. That's big shoes to fill, honestly. He made the Spurs.
Your name is LaMarcus Aldridge for a reason. You developed a playing.
He's a guy that's been averaging well over 20-plus points per game and 10-plus rebounds.
As a trailblazer?
He's been doing this. He was at Portland.
Yes.
And then he comes over to San Antonio. Greg Popovich is not asking nothing any different from him. Says, look, do what you've been doing. Do what you did at Portland, but within my system. And you know what? He actually asked for it this year. And I actually admire the fact that LaMarcus Aldridge, he asked for that leadership role, you know, because we don't really know how long Kawhi Leonard is going to be out with his quad injury or whatever like that. And they're conserving Tony Parker and everything like that. I mean, he's just too damn old, in my opinion.
Honestly,
I understand why.
He should retire.
Tony Parker should retire.
You can make the same argument about Manu Ginobili.
He should too.
What I saw last night, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, when he walks out in the court, it just looks like a bag of bones walking out there on the court. I mean, my goodness.
But
when
you
is he going to hang it up?
Vince Carter is 40 years old and still playing the way he plays.
Exactly.
So,
but at the end of the day, and I said this on Monday, Clifton, Father Time is undefeated.
Yes.
And it's going to hit you one way or the other. You either got two options. You either can leave the sport. This is any sport. You can either leave the sport with some dignity, or you're gonna lose your pride.
Or you're gonna do the Tony Romo and leave the sport and go to sports broadcasting.
We ain't even. At the end of the day, I don't know how all of a sudden it's kind of frustrating for guys like me who's trying to get off into that field. You know, because of who you are and who your name is, you can just leave your sport. And 24 hours later, you got a sports broadcasting job at CBS.
It's a networking field, man. It's a link.
But let's just get back to the topic at hand, guys. So, Spurs got it done without Kawhi Leonard, without Tony Parker.
Yeah. We're going to have a great year. I see it.
I mean, y'all always have a great year. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, y'all actually had the rookies stepped up.
Yeah. Murray. DeJounte Murray. Yeah. Anderson.
They stepped up.
Yes.
I admire that. You know what? We saw a little bit of that from Murray on last year. We didn't see it throughout the full year, but towards the end of the year, in the playoffs, in the postseason, we saw what this guy can do. And I said,
I'm so proud.
With a little growth,
that's
and
your guy next year.
Yeah.
DeJounte Murray has the potential to be a great guard in this league. I have without a doubt. He has the potential.
I have no argument.
What I'm so proud of is that they got it done without Kawhi.
You know what? I had one at the end of the day. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, you're playing Minnesota, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Minnesota, but under Thibodeau and then under the fact they got young guys over there. They do. I mean, you got Karl Anthony Towns, who is
you got Cat, yeah. You got Jimmy Butler, and
that was the most surprising to me. And I think I had an argument about somebody about this in class today. You get rid of Zach LaVine and everything like that, but then you add Jimmy Butler and you add Jamal Crawford. 2 veterans in the league right now.
Yes.
2 shooters.
Yes.
Get you well over 20-plus points a game.
Yeah.
And they did not show up in that fourth quarter, particularly I just had his name.
Jamal Crawford?
No, not Jamal Crawford.
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler. Thank you. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you, Cliff. In that game, in the fourth quarter, when it actually honestly kind of came down to the wire between the Timberwolves and the Spurs,
yeah.
One question I had in my head, where in the hell is Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
Where was he? He was nowhere to be found. You cannot do that if you're expected, to rise to the occasion and, just go beyond just the fact that, we got you making to the playoffs, but to actually try to, go for a championship or anything like that. You have to show up in big games. And in that fourth quarter, Jimmy Butler was nowhere to be found. I couldn't find him. Yeah. The crazy part is he was on the court. He was on the court.
Yeah.
And he couldn't be found. But nonetheless, Cliff, your Spurs got it done. Rah, 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 rah.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Okay? Moving right along. Keeping the show rolling, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just now tuning in, we're talking NBA, Western Conference. Houston Rockets getting it done against the defending 2016 Golden State Warriors. San Antonio Spurs taking care of business in Minnesota. Well, actually, they were in San Antonio against Minnesota. Then we're going to jump to the East, guys. Kyrie Irving returns to Cleveland. But, unfortunately, the Celtics fell short of the king himself, LeBron James, 102-99. Now, Cliff, I know you asked before the show started. Obviously, there was a devastating injury.
Yes, Gordon Hayward.
Yes,
Gordon Hayward.
I'm gonna let you take it away, Clifton. So when you saw that, I know you was watching the game. The fact that he got injured 5 minutes
into the game.
Yes. What was your reaction when you saw that?
Okay, so at first, I watched it during the game, and then later on in the week, I watched YouTube and rewind it to go back to the beginning and see what actually happened and went step by step. And that was a devastating injury because you could hear the snap. Right?
So you can hear the snap.
Yeah, you can hear the snap.
I wasn't tripping.
Yeah,
I heard something when I watched it, and I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
So there was a snap.
Yeah, you could hear the snap.
Yeah.
Oh, my most definitely could hear the snap when he fell, man.
Owen, what was your reactions, man, to that injury? It was a devastating injury, a huge loss within the Boston Celtics. What was your reaction when you saw the injury or heard about it or anything like that?
I was really stunned by the injury when I saw it. As a player and just watching from the sidelines, you're motionless and all you can do is shake your head and pray that a player like that has a speedy recovery, because in situations like that, all you can do is just wait till the next operation, I guess.
Yeah. But again, there were players on the side praying for Gordon Hayward.
Man.
Dwayne Wade in particular was on the court praying for him to recover.
That lets you know that something like that was just devastating, and it was so emotional.
Yeah.
I think Kyrie Irving he's about to cry.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just that's just how bad that injury was. And then honestly, even though in this game you're very competitive and everybody's competing to the highest level in order to win, regardless of all of that, even as a player, you never want to see a player like that go down, especially an injury like that can honestly make you as a player contemplate retiring.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean, Gordon Hayward was young. He just drafted, I believe, 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He's young in the league. But an injury like that, at the blink of an eye, it can hang your season up. It can hang your career up. It's very devastating.
Not too long ago, I read an article today, actually. They said he's out for the season.
Yeah, he is. He's
definitely out for the season.
And I'm glad y'all. I definitely want to clear this up, and I definitely want y'all to help me because everybody, is kind of going back and forth. Oh man, he could be back, and he at this point in time.
No.
Yeah, he's out for the
season. He is done. You cannot come back from that.
If he did have a chance to come back to to play for them, I don't think it would be to his best because those injuries you cannot come back from.
There's a fractured left leg and a broken tibia.
Yes,
no. You need a full year to recover.
Rehab.
Exactly. And I made a bold prediction a couple of days ago. I think it was on Twitter. I said, you know what, guys? At best, you may see him around March. At best. But even then, that was before we really kind of just.
That's highly unlikely.
The logistics of his injury and his operation and surgery and everything like that.
Yeah.
Now that all of that's out, there's no way.
No.
He is finished.
He's
very. Yeah.
I give all my props to Jaylen Brown trying to fill his shoes, and best of luck to him throughout the season.
I mean, and not even just Jaylen Brown. You got Jaylen Brown. You got Marcus Smart, who's definitely going to get more minutes.
Marcus Smart,
and we already knew how well he was on defense.
Yeah.
But offensively now, Tatum. He was excellent in that game. I mean, he was putting body on Dwayne Wade. I didn't really realize just the height advantage that he had over Dwayne Wade. And he was actually putting a body on him in that game. Dwayne Wade honestly couldn't handle him. Yeah. A lot of people didn't realize that, but it's true.
Many players are going to have to step up.
Yeah.
Many players are going to have to step up and do his injury.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to. And
rally up with Kyrie Irving.
Now, I think we mentioned this before the show started, Clifton. I'm not ruling them out of the playoffs. I'm not.
No, I can't see it. No.
If they're in the East, if they're in the West, totally different story.
Yeah,
the West, in the East, I can't rule them out. I just can't. I can't do it. Yeah. It's a long season. It's 82 games.
It is 82 games. It's a long season.
It's a long season. And you honestly, we only need about 50 to really just be considered, okay, and to be considered
50
for a playoff
to,
spot.
See if you can get a spot in the playoffs.
Exactly.
50,
and all I'm saying is a spot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say they're going to be a number one seed. I mean, hell, they were the number one seed last year, and they didn't have Kyrie Irving and everything like that. They was doing it under Isaiah Thomas and Al Horford and all those guys like that. Yeah. So, no shape, form, or fashion that they're going to be number one seed. That's out of the question. I mean, they just lost 2 games in a row. Yeah. But it takes 8 teams. All you have to do is make one of those 8 teams. Hell, even if you're number 8, and I'm not even predicting them to be number 8.
Yeah.
I'm not. I feel like they're going to make it. But we'll see where it goes. As we are 20 minutes past the hour. Again, we are 20 minutes past the hour of our sports edition of Outspoken right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Andre Davis, joined by my main man, Clifton Monroe, and Mr. Owen Roberts, going to keep the show rolling. And I just enjoy these guys. They are my sports contributors for the Panther newspaper. They're very, very reliable. They get things done in a very timely manner. So, again, I just appreciate you guys coming on the show.
No problem.
So, we're going to
enjoy this.
Man, this is lit, man. I like it.
So, we're going to keep the show rolling, y'all, in the East. So, not sure if y'all watched it, but honestly, this is actually the game of the night for me. I normally don't pick a game of the night dealing with the East because there's just no competition in that conference. Yeah. But this was a game of the night for me. The Washington Wizards took on the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Washington was victorious in that game by the score of 120 to 115. But just on paper, you got John Wall,
Bradley Beal.
Bradley, yeah.
Now, rookies are getting their debut, and I'm calling Ben Simmons a rookie because he didn't play last year.
Yeah.
So Ben Simmons getting his debut. Markelle Fultz,
yes.
The number 1 pick in the 2017 NBA draft, making his debut, even though he didn't start. He don't start, which I personally feel like he should start over Jared Bayless, but that's neither here nor there. I personally feel like
Jared Bayless is starting on Markel Fultz.
Yes, he's starting on Markel Fultz. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe that's something that the coach will probably switch up throughout the season. And like we've been saying on this show, it's a long season. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, it was the debut of the two rookies. I was honestly impressed with what I saw from Ben Simmons moving forward. Even though the Sixers didn't win, they lost by 5. The game came down to the wire. I want to say it was really a back and forth game throughout the entire game. I mean, I think one quarter the Sixers were outscoring the Wizards, and the next quarter the Wizards were outscoring the Sixers. It was just a back and forth game. Yeah. But Simmons finished with 18 points and 10 rebounds. Another guy that played. Anybody remember him? Joel Embiid.
Yeah, he's actually I really like him as a player.
I like him too.
I really
just
do.
wish I could get the opportunity to see him more. I think he only finished with like 24 minutes or 25 minutes in that entire game. Now,
but he finished with a lot of points.
I think he had like 18
points and 13 rebounds.
Yeah.
18, yeah.
So just imagine, like, they're really been, and it's something that the Sixers are going to have to get over if they want to be a contender in the East, because as of right now, I don't have them making the playoffs. I don't. As of right now.
Me neither.
It's early in the season, but I don't have them making it. They're going to have to he's going to have to play more than 20 minutes if the Sixers are going to have a chance to win or have a chance to make it to the playoffs. Yeah. He's going to have to. They were conserving him quite often in that game against the Wizards. Now, it wasn't until the fact that they realized, oh, hell, this game coming down to the wire. I need Joel Embiid in the game because Ben Simmons can't do it by himself. I mean, he just can't. This is his debut season. He can't do it by himself. He's, in my opinion, is still a rookie because he didn't play last year.
Yeah.
Now, another thing to mention, guys, Ben Simmons, and can't remind y'all, Ben Simmons is 6'10". He's a point guard. Ben Simmons is a point guard. Maybe I just come from a different time period, but a lot of people feel like, that's the new generation these days. They have these big old giant point guards bringing the ball down the court. I'm not used to that. I'm used to point guards being 6 foot,
6'2", 6'4",
6'3", 6'4" at the most, maybe 6'5", depending on who it is.
Yeah.
But Ben Simmons is 6'10", and the one question I had in my head, he was actually playing like a point guard and not a point forward. He actually played like a point guard in terms of bringing the ball down, having court vision, finding the open players, getting the ball to them in stride motion. Yeah.
I believe that's a new age of basketball nowadays. Your bigs are now playing a point guard position, which back then was unheard of.
Why? Oh, and why? I don't like that.
I don't use it.
Down low in the paint where you belong. Yeah. Why?
It's the same reason why basketball changes over time. Your fundamentals are integrated into players at a young age to play all 5 positions.
Well, look at the rookies now. They're tall. Like, what's his face? Lonzo, he's like 6. Is it like 6?
Lonzo is 6'5".
6'5", and Fultz, isn't he like
6'6"? No, Lonzo's 6'6".
Lonzo's 6'6", and
Lonzo's
Fultz, 6'6". These rookies nowadays are getting taller and taller.
I mean, I don't know what they're feeling, and I get you, Owen. I know that you have to, maybe I have to change. I understand that you got to change with the sport as time goes on. The sport is changing. Therefore, if you want to be able to properly enjoy it, you have to change as well. Yeah. I get that, but I just when am I going to get back to my Allen Iversons of the world? My Steve Nashes of the world. Your short point guards, my Jason Kidds of the world.
Look at your premier point guards now. You have Russell Westbrook, who is 6'4", John Wall, who is 6'4", Kyrie Irving, who is 6'3".
And I said that. I said 6'4".
Come on.
I said 6'4" my cutoff, and I honestly even said 6'5", depending on who it is. But damn it, I didn't want to go no further. And when we get to start getting the 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", all right, hold it, hell.
Yeah. LeBron James.
No, he's not. He's a 4. He's
a power forward.
He can play the point guard position, which he mostly does.
Yeah, that's because he's the captain. He's LeBron James.
He
can
do anything. He could be any position.
I think for the first time, I'm seeing somebody who's a player, who's a coach, who's an owner. He's everything to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants, that's what he is. But that's neither here nor there. But I mean, all right, I get it. I guess that's the way we're changing to this new damn millennium. Fine. 6'10" point guards it is. Yeah. You heard it here first on Outspoken. 6'10" point guards and up. That's all we recruited. But we're going to keep the show rolling. Upcoming matchups. I believe one is going on right now. My main man, Clifton Monroe, is going to check into that for me. But the rookie phenom, Lonzo Ball, we just talked about himself, is having his rookie NBA debut tonight against the L.A. Clippers. Major questions circulating for a while now, and I want to get both of you guys your thoughts and opinions on this. Will the Lakers make the 2017-2018 NBA playoffs? I want to get your hot take right here, right now on Outspoken. I'm going to start with you, Clifton. Will the Lakers make the playoffs?
Honestly, I believe so. I believe they have a chance to make it the playoffs.
Why is that?
Because if you think about it, they have a good squad altogether. They have
a young squad.
Yeah, they have a good young squad, and that's not that common, honestly, because you have other teams that have like the Timberwolves. They have like mostly rookies, and the way they're playing is pretty decent.
Yeah, it feels like something is missing, or maybe not necessarily something that's missing with the Timberwolves, but feel like it's just they're having a difficult time putting it together.
But the thing is, the Lakers have veterans and they got rookies, and
I mean Timberwolves do too. They got Jimmy Butler and they got Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, you do have those two, but the thing is, these rookies know what they want. Like they know what they want to go for. Like they want to make the playoffs.
Go ahead, Owen. What you think? Will the Lakers make the 2017-2018 NBA playoffs?
On paper, they have ability to make the playoffs. Not a high seed.
No. Forget about on paper. Forget about on paper.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I believe that. So you have players like Kyle Kuzma, who's a very once-in-a-lifetime player who can ball out. You have Brandon Ingram, who can ball out.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball,
yeah.
who can ball out.
I'm going to get to your point with Brandon Ingram because there's something about him that I really want to share with y'all on Outspoken. I agree with the both of you. Unfortunately, I was hoping one of y'all was going to say no. I was waiting for a debate. But y'all are very smart men, so y'all answered very smartly. Yes, I honestly – go ahead.
But I do have to say is whenever they go against – like when LeBron goes against the Lakers and Lonzo Ball shot, that is something that you have to take into consideration too, because there's a lot of veteran players that can just treat that like nothing when he shoots. I mean, he has a shot, but it's not like
he ain't got no shot. No, he ain't got no shot. And I feel like veteran players, the more they play Lonzo, will figure that out. He has no shot.
Yeah, and
he got away with it at UCLA, but he really ain't got no shot.
That's what a lot of people don't get. Like with Lonzo Ball's shot, he doesn't have a consistent shot.
But you know what? That's not really his game. And I'm going to get to Lonzo in a minute, but I want to address Owen's point about Brandon Ingram. You mentioned Brandon Ingram as far as being one of the starting players on the Lakers. The problem with Brandon Ingram that I honestly feel like Magic Johnson, who is now over the Lakers now, which is another reason why I feel like they have a shot, minus the fact that, they only got just a few key players to point out, but you got Magic Johnson, the Hall of Famer himself. That's neither here nor there, just one of the best Lakers to ever do it. You got him. Then on top of that, you mentioned Brandon Ingram. What I personally feel like Magic Johnson wants to do with Brandon Ingram, because he's a tremendous player. He's talented, very talented on both sides of the ball. He really wants to get Brandon Ingram out of his shell. That's what he wants. If you notice, he's kind of in his shell a bit. It's kind of conservative. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence or whatever, but I really feel like Magic Johnson is going to try to get him out of his shell. In addition to adding Lonzo Ball, I'm addressing your point in a minute, adding him to the team is going to allow that. And to get to your point, the reason I was going to allow it is because Lonzo Ball is he reminds you of like your old school point guard.
Yeah.
The point guards in this new millennium, is now more, about themselves in terms of got to get mine. Well, back in the day, when you're a point guard, your job was to distribute the ball, get everybody else an opportunity to score. Look for the open guy. If you played the point guard position back in the day, you were selfless. Not selfish, you were selfless.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't about you. It was about getting everybody else an opportunity to score. And if y'all notice, that's Lonzo's game. So to your point in terms of the fact that he can't shoot and everything like that, All he really has to do is just do just enough.
Lonzo Ball doesn't have to shoot the ball.
Because he's not a sharpshooter.
No, he's not.
He's a passer. Yeah, that's what he does. On rebounds, push the ball up the court, look for the open guy. The passes that this guy does in the game is just is unbelievable.
He reminds me of Jason Kidd.
Absolutely.
A lot like Jason Kidd.
Absolutely. He's a passer. So, in that regards, that's what I feel like is going to help Brandon Ingram because you got Lonzo Ball, who, without a shadow of a doubt, is going to feed you that ball. He's going to be willing to feed you that ball, and you're going to be able to score without even thinking.
I'm going to make a bold prediction.
That's what we do here on Outspoken.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I believe these players are going to be superstars in this league. And with that, it's going to be problems because they're not going to pay all these players. I don't think they're going to stay together.
Well, at the end of the day, L.A. is a big market. It's a very big market.
Yes.
And we can just fast forward to this year because we already know, well, we can already make predictions based on, speculation, everything like that, what's going to be expected for next year. Alonzo Ball and all those other guys, they're the future. And everybody can see that. You got a lot of players, a lot of big-time players, both on the West and on the East, that want to go to L.A. They want to play for the Lakers. They want to play for Magic Johnson. They want to play with Lonzo Ball and the young guys over there because they're going to be hot commodities in the league. So that and that perspective right then and there, I know you got to look at your budget and everything like that, but they're going to find it out. They're going to find a way, some way, somehow, because it's just it's too big of a damn market. You're gonna put these players somewhere. Yeah. Some players have to take a pay cut or whatever have you. You're gonna pay your starters, and at that point, some have to wonder as to whether or not is it about the money or is it about championships? Is it about us getting our bread, or do we want to be contenders against a super team that is the Warriors?
Yeah.
So it's just a question that you have to ask yourself. But nonetheless, he makes his rookie debut today. We'll be checking that. We'll be checking that out tomorrow. Not tonight, and we'll be giving you an update on that as the show progresses. And as we finish with our upcoming matchups, OKC takes on the Knicks tonight.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I brought that up, and you can say the score if you want to, because I know that they're playing right now.
The score right now is the Knicks have 40 and the Thunder have 40.
So it's a tie game. How much time is left?
There is 3 minutes and 34 seconds in the second quarter.
All right, thank you, Clifton. So, tie ball game, but nonetheless, the matchup itself really wasn't appealing to me because for the Knicks now, they don't have Carmelo. There's nobody over there.
Oh, they have someone over there. They're tied right now.
They really got nobody out. They ain't really got nobody over there that's really worth talking about. But nonetheless, as far as OKC, I really want to just get into that team itself.
3 powerhouse.
Three. Not one, not two, not three.
They have 3 this time. They have Russell Westbrook.
I want to get both of y'all's perspective on the fact that, as you just mentioned, Clifton, you got Russell Westbrook, you got Paul George, you got Carmelo Anthony. I want to get y'all's perspective on how y'all feel like that's going to unfold this year.
I feel like they have 3 players that can do all-around things in the court. Like, you have Carmelo Anthony, which is, like, phenomenal from mid-range. And then you have Russell Westbrook, who averages a triple-double like it's nothing. And then you have Paul George, which I think can shoot from 3 and mid-range, who can shoot from both. So, yeah, you have 3 players who can do about almost anything that they wanted to when it came down to it.
I'm going to address your triple-double point in a minute. But, Owen, what do you think, man?
You have a player that can create his own shot at any time. You have an athletic point guard who can chase down impactful numbers in the game. And you have somebody that can play the 4 and just score. I think they can go pretty far with that team.
So just to be clear here on Outspoken, guys, just to be clear, OKC makes the playoffs this year. Just to be clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
For some reason, some people think that they're not making the playoffs, even with the addition of Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. So just to be clear, they're making it. All right. I just wanted to be clear on that. Now, I want to address Clifton. I want to address your point when you talked about triple doubles. I want to be clear on that. That's not going to happen this year. You can forget about it. He's not
Yeah.
averaging a triple-double this year.
Because he has a team which he can, like, rely on this year.
He had to do it last year because he didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
You had Victor Oladipo, but, I mean, he got hurt, and you pretty much are doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
So you had no choice. And I honestly didn't think you had no problems doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Now you got Paul George, and then you got Carmelo Anthony. Especially, he definitely won't average a double in rebounds this season because Paul George is going to handle that for you. And Cancer's going to handle that for you, too.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, you got an addition of Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. You shouldn't have to average a triple-double.
Yeah.
If we look on the stat record and Russell Westbrook is still averaging a triple-double and you got Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, damn it, there's a problem.
Yes, there is.
Yes,
Yes, there
In
is.
the world, he should still be a damn workhorse. Now, I know he's going to be a workhorse. I get it because that's who he is as a player.
Yeah.
That's who Russell Westbrook is. But in the same breath, you got Paul George and Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
You should not have to be working as hard. And if you are, only two things you can really point from that. Either the level of production between Carmelo Anthony and Paul George needs to increase, meaning they're not doing their damn jobs, and Westbrook still has to average a triple-double, or he's being selfish with the damn ball, and he's not passing it. He's not giving Paul George an opportunity to score. He's not giving Carmelo an opportunity to score. Only two things you can point for that, but nonetheless, I personally don't feel like he should be averaging triple-doubles this year.
Yeah, and the thing is, they just need to if they have the player chemistry, I think they're going to be perfect. If they get their chemistry together, I think they'll have no problem.
Well, chemistry is always the thing that we throw up in the air in terms of if they get the chemistry down, then they should be good. I mean, we said the same argument about LeBron James when he went to Miami to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And ultimately, we can tell that the chemistry definitely wasn't there. I mean, Miami made to the finals.
Yeah.
They were in the Eastern Conference. They ran up against my Mavericks in 2011, and they lost in Game 6. So, nonetheless, chemistry is always in the question, and hopefully they can get it done because they shouldn't have no problems. As we are 40 minutes past the hour here on Outspoken, and we're going to wrap the NBA up with, as I mentioned to y'all before the show, our beginning of the year NBA playoff predictions. I'm going to start with you, Clifton.
Okay.
Give me your top 8 NBA playoff spots for the West. We're not going to focus on the East because I can care less about the East. We already know who's going to make it to the final. We already know who's going to be in the top 2, top 3 seeds. I only care about the West because it's more competitive. There's more teams. There's more moving parts over there. That's the conference that I really want to focus on. So, my main man, Clifton, and then we're going to go to you, Owen. I want to know your top 8. Okay. And you don't have to, if you want to put it in order, you can put it in order. It don't matter. Just give me your top 8.
Okay. So, you know who I got to put up first? I got to put.
Everybody's going to put Golden State up first. I understand that.
I'm going to put Golden State first. Then I got to put San Antonio Spurs.
Of course.
And
go
then
ahead.
I'm going to put the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
Most definitely. And then a team that people have doubted and think they won't make it to the playoffs for some odd reason, I will put the Thunder. And then, let's see. I mean the other teams I would put is like
you got 4. We need 4 more.
4 more?
Yes, sir.
I'll put Minnesota and the Portland Trailblazers. That's 6. I need 2 more. Oh, okay. Let's see.
You're almost there. Clifton. Give me 2 more.
I'm trying to think of. Let me. Okay. Let's see.
There's a bunch of teams in the West.
Yeah, there is a bunch of teams in the West.
A bunch of teams that you left out. You got Utah in there. You got Dallas in there. There's a bunch of teams left.
Yeah.
Got the Pelicans.
I think New Orleans will make it. That's 7. And my 8th one will be, let's see.
I need that last one.
I know. I'm trying. Okay.
Give me that last one.
Oh, all right. The Lakers.
And the Lakers.
Okay.
So, for Clifton, we got Golden State, we got San Antonio, we got Houston, OKC, Portland, Minnesota, and Pelicans, and the Lakers. Go ahead, Owen. What you got for me?
Well, I got Golden State as number 1. I have to. Number 2, I got the Spurs.
All right.
Number 3, I got Houston. Number 4, I got OKC.
Okay.
Number 5, I got Portland.
Gotcha.
Number 6, I got Minnesota. Number 7, I got New Orleans. And number 8, I have the Lakers.
Exact same list.
Exactly. You might as well just say what Clifton got.
Yeah.
Wasting that airtime. No, I'm just playing with you.
I'm just being realistic, though.
I understand. I'm only serious. So, at the end of the day, Clifton and Owen, you guys had the exact same thing. You guys had the exact same teams. Now, I'm going to be honest. Both of you guys' predictions were similar to mine with the exception of one team, and that's New Orleans Pelicans. I had Golden State. I had San Antonio. I had Houston. I had OKC. I had Portland. I had Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I had the X factor themselves, that is the LA Lakers.
Yes.
But in substitution for the New Orleans Pelicans, I had the Memphis Grizzlies.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
I had the Memphis. Yes, I damn it. Yes, I said it. I said it.
Okay, wow.
I said it. I had the Memphis
Can I
Grizzlies.
please hear your reason why?
Yes, please explain yourself. I really would like
to
to
hear my reasons why.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I'm going to give my reasons as to why Pelicans aren't going to make the playoffs. I'm going to give you my reasons why the Grizzlies will make the playoffs. The Pelicans aren't going to make the playoffs is because Rajon Rondo is going to be inconsistent throughout the season. They're already 0-2 or 0-1, I think, right now. And it's only going to go downhill from there. Yes, they're going to win games, I'm sure.
Aren't the Grizzlies 0-1?
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. This is going to have as many moving parts as the Pelicans do, number one. And number two, honestly, and I'm actually disgusted to say this because when you got two of the best big men in the league, that being Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis, there's no way in the world you should be sucking this bag. But here we are having this conversation, Clifton.
Yeah.
The Pelicans not going to make the playoffs. There's too many moving parts.
You said it perfectly because they only got two good players.
Well, honestly, you can make the argument that those two good players and the fact they got two good big players that should be enough for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Two of the greatest, two of the best big players in the league right now. I mean, on paper, when you look at the fact that you got DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, there's no way in the hell that you should be out of the playoffs.
Most definitely.
You shouldn't be in one of those 8 seeds.
I'm all right, brother.
But here we are discussing it. Now,
yeah, you're right.
On the Memphis side, you got Marc Gasol, a prodigy of Paul Gasol.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy watching Marc Gasol play.
Gasol brothers,
absolutely. You got Mike Conley. Now, a lot of people underestimate Mike Conley and his level of production on the court, but this man can produce.
I honestly underestimated him.
They didn't pay him all that money for nothing. Now, I just think it was just a wee bit too much.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there, but I'm broke, so I can't make no argument in that perspective anyway. But they underestimate this guy. Seriously. They really do.
Yes,
I like Tyreek Evans. I like him. He's a tremendous guy. He can give you 14 to 15 points a game. He can. Now, keep in mind, all they have to do, I kind of put them in the same position with the Lakers. And the reason why I did, even though the Lakers have a more of a younger team, whatever, a lot of people feel like that they're not going to have enough to win 50 games. I put them in the same perspective as the Lakers because of the fact that it's a long season. They're taking 8 teams. We can really legitimately make the argument for about 4 or 5 teams in terms of the fact that their spots are guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, we mentioned Golden State. We mentioned San Antonio. We mentioned Houston.
OKC.
Now, we're mentioning OKC. I'm not even putting them in the category in terms of the fact that their spots are guaranteed.
Yeah,
they still have to prove the fact that they can all play together.
They have the potential to be.
Now, on paper, you're thinking, yes, they can definitely make the playoffs. Hell, Russell Westbrook did it by himself last year, and now you add Paul George and Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
They should have no problems. But You got 3 guys on the team, and on top of that, you got 3 guys who came from their perspective. Well, 2 guys that came from their respective teams, and they had the ball 90% of the game. Paul George left Indiana, he had the ball 90% of the game. Carmelo, when he left New York, he had the ball majority of the game.
Yeah.
So you talking about putting all 3 of those guys on the team who need the ball?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
We're just looking at the fact that all 3 of them are superstars.
Yeah. Yeah.
All 3 of them are all-stars working on one team on paper. You think, well, damn, that should be a plus. There's no reason why they shouldn't make the playoffs.
Over the course of the season, it can be a great team that they can gel together, or they can fall apart.
Because we've seen it happen before.
We have.
We've seen it happen
before. We have.
So, nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. So,
like Agent Zero and Caron Butler and the Wizards when they had that team.
We saw how that ended.
Yeah.
We saw how that ended.
The Denver Nuggets when they had Carmelo, Allen Iverson.
Well, that's personally when I feel like Carmelo was at his best when he was at Denver.
Oh, of course.
I feel like that's when he was at his best.
Yeah,
you had him, you had Kenyon Martin and all those guys there. He was tremendous. I used to love to play with Denver on NBA Live. So when Carmelo was there, he was hitting threes from the corner like no other. But at the end of the day, that's my top 8. I threw in Memphis in there in substitution for the Pelicans because I just don't see it right now. Now, we have a long season. I may come back on Outspoken and I say, man, you know what, Owen? You know what, Cliff? Damn it, I changed my mind. The Pelicans have figured it out. They finally figured it out. Rajon Rondo's actually playing like a true point guard that we know he can play like he did when he was at Boston.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
So you know what? I changed it. I'm going to substitute Memphis for New Orleans. As of right now, until I can see it on court, I'm keeping the Memphis Grizzlies in my top 8. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Now, we have about a good 10 minutes on the show. I want to get into a quick hit quickly on the show, guys. Rick Pitino, former coach for Louisville Cardinals, he continues to admit that he has no knowledge of recruits taking bribery money to play for Louisville. Now, he had an interview on ESPN with Jay Bilas on ESPN. And again, on that interview, just pretty much admitted to the fact that he has zero knowledge that this is going on. Now, since we don't really have time, I'm not even going to get into, all the, everything else that he's done leading up to this point because his name has been in the news for a long time now. The only thing I want to get into is the known and the should have known.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference. Now, he's claiming that he had no knowledge of this. Now, on one hand, I can argue the fact that, well, hell, yeah, I disagree with you. I feel like you had the knowledge. But you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, all right, maybe this one particular time, even though for some reason it's hard for me to believe because you mean tell me you're the head coach of a powerhouse school, that being Louisville Cardinals, who won the national championship, I believe that's in, 2013 or something like that, won the national championship, and you mean tell me you didn't have the knowledge? Well, fine. You didn't know. We get it. Whatever. You keep admitting to the fact that you don't know, you didn't know, you admitted on camera that you didn't know, forget it. But damn it, I feel like you should have known. I'm going to get you guys' perspective on it here real quick, then we're going to move on to the NFL. But I feel like you should have known. You should have known. You're the head coach.
Yeah.
This is the FBI. The FBI is busting down your door about this. You didn't know. And as I said, maybe you didn't know, but I feel like you should have known.
Yeah.
You hired all of those staff members, to do the work and everything like that, to get these guys in and, make sure they're comfortable and everything like that. You should have been paying more attention to your staff. If for some reason this particular case, out of all the other cases, you truly didn't know.
Can I say something? He could have really done this in a different way. He could have prevented this situation from happening. He could have told the university, I have no involvement, I have no idea that this was going on. And if he did know it, he should have fired his people on the spot and should have been in place of his surroundings to prevent money from coming in and being spread out illegally, as they say, and to have the FBI at your door, he could have gone it the wrong. He could have done it the wrong, a different way.
I agree. The only reason why, the only thing that's wrong with that, Owen, is the fact that, one, you're the head coach of this organization.
Yeah.
If you were taking on any other type of title, the lower title, anything like that, then that would be fine. But the fact that you're the head coach, these people are your staff members. You hired them. They work for you. So even if he would have went to the university and said, you know what, I didn't know nothing about this, this wasn't my fault, blah, 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 he still would have got fired. He still would have got the can.
Of course.
Because they would have pointed out what they're pointing out this entire time that you should have known. How did you let this fly over your head? You're the head coach. This is why we put you in this position so stuff like this doesn't happen. And make this look like it's a negative look on the university.
Of course, yeah.
So that's why I personally feel like even if he would have went to the university and anything like that, it still wouldn't matter. Because they would have fired him anyway. Because at the end of the day, from their perspective, this shouldn't happen. Period. And it's sad. It's unfortunate. I mean, I'm gonna have some sympathy for him because honestly, somebody told me to don't go on the show today and be insensitive. I really want to be. I really want to be insensitive.
You should know better.
Hey, I'm telling you, Cliff. I really wanted to.
Cliff, he was right though. I mean, he should have.
He really should have. But that was
leader.
You got an opinion? Of course, man. Come on now.
And that was our quick hit, guys. And we're going to quickly move on to NFL as we are running out of time. I just want to quickly mention Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game suspension is back on.
Oh, my God. Why did you just take him out the game?
Yeah, you're right. I said it, Clifton. I said it.
Oh, honestly. They might as well just let him in for the whole season.
His 6-game suspension is back on, and no, Deshaun Watson is not the best quarterback in Texas right now. Forget about it.
You couldn't even say that with a straight face. You couldn't say that with a straight face.
Forget about it.
I know you
forget
couldn't
about
say
it.
that with a straight face.
It's Dak Prescott, damn it. You don't forget about it.
No.
We're about to run some shoulders now.
Deshaun Watson he's about to break the record. You know the record for most?
It's 26. I know.
Yeah,
he has 15 now. I know.
Yeah, 15 already.
Deshaun Watson's a bad man.
No, forget about it. Forget about
it. His consistency, play-by-play every Sunday, come on.
And if he keeps doing
the
way he did when he had 5 touchdowns in one game.
Who would you play this Sunday, Clifton? You played this past Sunday. You played the Browns. Okay. You played the Cleveland Browns.
All right.
Who are they? What defense do they have?
Okay, but still.
Joe Thomas ring a bell? Joe Thomas?
Not really.
Only consistent player on their team?
Okay. Really. You know what? Owen, what has your team done? The Arizona Cardinals.
Well,
they took care of business. Yeah. They took care of business.
We won.
They just got a key player on their team because they
Adrian Peterson. Yes.
Hold on, y'all. We got to get back to the topic at hand.
Come on now.
The fact that Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game suspension is back on, but I told you, Clifton, you were going to be shocked at my response. And my response to that is, it's not phasing me. Okay. You keep going back and forth. You're Ezekiel. Okay. You keep trying to avoid these 6. You can avoid these 6 games all you want. You're gonna serve those damn 6 games. Yeah. You can keep appealing it all you want. You can keep going back and forth between the NFL and the courts to try to keep getting these appeals to put the
what's going to happen to him? He's gonna mess up and get the 6-game suspension right before the playoffs. Like he's gonna be suspended for those 6 games that can make or break them to go to the playoffs.
Well, that's if we're making an argument that the Dallas Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. And honestly, as of right now, I'm just not seeing it.
One of my friends said he's a Cowboys fan. He feels like the record this year is going to be 8-8.
It may be. It just may be. Oh hell, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe 7-9.
Oh man.
Shit, maybe 6-10. We don't know. That's how bad they're playing this year. Now, I'm not even saying to make the playoffs this year because I really don't know. We still got to. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're looking incredible in NFC East right now.
All right, be easy, brother.
So, at the end of the day, we really don't know. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is he can keep avoiding it all he wants. He can keep appealing it all he wants. He's going to serve those 6 games. Yes, he's going to serve it.
I hope Ezekiel Elliott feels like he's a golden boy in this situation. He feels like he's totally backed off and has no involvement and has not done anything wrong.
Well, at the end of the day, the title that's been put on him itself is already bad itself. Domestic violence. Once you have that title, it's hard to shave that off. If he's trying to clear his name.
Yeah,
now, I had a slight moment of sympathy about this entire situation as far as the whole back and forth. You know what I started thinking to myself? Well, damn, maybe he really didn't do it. I mean, we really don't know. I mean, the entire investigation itself has been inconsistent for over a year now. I mean, at the end of the day, you keep going back and forth, because it's not easy when it gets to NFL. It's not. And then on top of that, you're black too. Hell, Tom Brady didn't win. Now, his suspension was cut down from 6 to 4 in terms of the Deflategate, but nonetheless, Tom Brady didn't win.
What makes you think that you're going to be cleared?
That's what I'm saying. What makes you think you're going to win?
Yes.
If the NFL didn't let Tom Brady himself get away with what he did, what makes you think they're going to let you get away with it?
What pissed me off is that they did delay 2 games on Tom Brady. Why didn't they give him the 6? Why did he go to 4?
Well, that's neither here nor there.
That's a whole different situation.
But nonetheless, all I'm saying is he's going to serve his 6 games regardless. Now, moving on, the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell, he met with NFL players a couple of days ago in terms of kneeling for the national anthem and everything like that. Supposedly, it was a productive meeting. You know, Roger Goodell actually got an opportunity to really sit down with the players and really understand the bottom line of the situation, their situation, as he put it, in terms of why they're really doing this, even though we already know why the deal took place. Colin Kaepernick, hello, he did this a year ago. He told y'all on camera why he just started this movement. But nonetheless, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let y'all take it away. I personally feel like we're gonna get that. I personally feel like the NFL,
what's the score?
And Roger Goodell needs to stop wasting everybody's time. I want y'all to, if y'all remember,
Can I go to the NBA real quick?
He put out a statement. Well, he didn't put out a statement, but it's just kind of this little rumor that's been circulating in terms of the fact that Roger Goodell just might put out a statement changing the rules and making players stand for the national anthem. Now, what I've been told, he didn't mention that in the meeting when he talked to the players and the owners, about this entire situation. My thing is, just stop wasting everybody's time. That's what you want to do anyway. You understand that this movement is affecting your bottom line in terms of dollar signs because that's all you care about. It's a business. I get all that. So just stop wasting everybody's time. Just go ahead and make the rule. I'm not going to be happy with it. I know a lot of players are not going to be happy with it, but at that point, that means you're forcing them to stand, and ultimately, that's what you want to do anyway. Don't have a meeting with the players and the owners and try to actually understand why they're doing this when in the back of your head you don't really care anyway. You don't.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. You don't care. So if you don't care, we know you don't care. Stop wasting everybody's time. Stop trying to make the rumor that you're going to change the rule. Just do it.
Honestly, I think he did that just for publicity.
Well, we know that.
Yeah,
we know that.
And the fact that he just now wants to do something about it just proves of what type of person he is overall when it comes to players sticking up for what they believe in. So, yeah.
At the end of the day, again, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. All he cares about the money. All he cares about the bottom line in the business. The fact that this movement is affecting their bottom line.
Yeah,
that's all he really is focusing on. So my thing is, again, stop having a meeting, and unless you honestly really gonna get to the bottom line as to why they're doing this movement in the first place. It's not about the flag. It's not about patriotism. It ain't even about the damn soldiers.
Yeah,
it's about racial inequality, police brutality, social injustice, the whole nine. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Unless you're Roger Goodell and you honestly, truly want to get to that bottom line, there's no point in talking about it. You have the power to make the change. You want to make the change, just make the change so we can move on. Because this is circulating for a long time now, and it's really getting annoying.
It is.
Because we know what you want to do. Honestly. So, we're going to wrap it up with, I wrote it on the paper, y'all, Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
It's Thursday Night Football. It ain't Monday Night Football, but the Kansas City Chiefs are taking on the Oakland Raiders, and I'm going to let my main man, Clifton Monroe, give us an update on that game.
The Chiefs are up 17-14. It's the second quarter, and the Raiders have the ball.
So before we wrap up the show, guys, I want to get you guys predictions on the final results of this game. I'm going to start with you, Owen. Kansas City Chiefs are taking on the Oakland Raiders. Derek Carr is back from injury. He's playing tonight. The Kansas City Chiefs just came off a loss this past Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, Steelers gave the Chiefs their first loss of the season. So, will the Chiefs bounce back and defeat Oakland in this game, or will Derek Carr rise to the occasion after coming back from an injury, him and Beast Mode and all those guys there, Amari Cooper and everybody else? Will that be enough to pull off a victory against Kansas City?
Yes, I believe so. With Kansas City Chiefs, I believe the Kansas City Chiefs will win this game.
See my face right now? Okay. Explain this, brother.
Yeah,
explain myself. I don't think I have to because the defense.
If they win, I will personally bring you back on the show. Congratulate you if they win. I'm not just saying not okay. I'm not saying that Oakland Raiders are scrub because they're not.
Yeah, they're overall good team.
But when you talk about the consistency of Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt,
and the defense, Marcus Peters, that's why I say Kansas City will win.
Oh, you just said.
I meant Kansas City. I meant Kansas City will win.
Okay.
I thought you said the Raiders were
Man, you both.
No, I was like, no. I'm really talking about Kansas City.
Okay.
Kansas City will win this game.
You about to be banned from this show. I'm sorry.
No.
We're about to be one mic short.
First of all,
the production of the defense, you have Marcus Peters on the team. You have Justin Houston on the team. You have Tyreek Hill.
And
their offense is phenomenal. They have a great feel for the game. They are systematically sound.
The fact that Kareem Hunt came off the bench, he was not a starter. He came off the bench, and he's been putting up records like no other.
He's leading the league in rushing right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he came off the bench too. He came off the bench.
Absolutely. Now, there's only two words that scares me about Kansas City. I think I debated Cliff with this on Monday. His name is Alex Smith.
Yeah.
And I'm really talking about postseason play. I get it. They have a lot of weapons to do some great things in the regular season. They did it last year. I get all that. But we're talking about the postseason. One player doesn't show up, and his name is Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Will his playing time equate to the postseason? That's the real question we're asking, right?
It should. No, it
should, yeah.
I mean, you have no choice. I mean, even though you're in the AFC, but you still got to go up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you still got the Patriots. So at the end of the day, it should. If you have no choice, if you want to be, run for, if you want to be a contender for the championship, for the Super Bowl, you have no choice. But nonetheless, we have to find out. So unfortunately, guys, we are out of time. Time just goes by so fast. I told y'all it was a jam-packed show today, but I definitely want to thank y'all so much for joining us on the show. I definitely want to thank you, the listeners, for joining as well. Do us a favor and visit our website at obnradio.com. Again, that's obnradio.com to become a listening partner. We've been serving the community through faith and athletics, and we are the voice of student athletics. You have been listening to Outspoken from the second floor of the Memorial Student Center, better known as the MSC. I'm going to leave you two with the final words today. So, I'm going to start with you, Clifton. Give us your final take and your final thoughts of today. What have you been noticing so far, and just in terms of, the start of the NBA? You still got the NFL going on. What are you expecting to see going forward?
What I expect to see in the NBA is a great season for all the teams. Like, overall, I expect to see a lot of great matchups, a lot of close games overall. And as far as the NFL is concerned, I honestly want to see some teams that have been considered out rise above the occasion and make upsets overall.
I believe a lot of teams that are slept on, especially in the NBA, will come out and surprise a lot of people. Your usual teams that are always contending will always work As far as the NFL, they will continue to be great and do things and play their heart out.
Well, will those teams? Wow! Look who. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, we just out of time. We just been joined by another guy who is normally on this show. His name is Michael Toussaint. But unfortunately, we are out of time. My goodness, I cannot believe it. But we will see him hopefully next week when we do the show again. We do 2 shows a week, so maybe we'll see him next week. He's spread over here. We gotta go. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. For my main man, Clifton Monroe. For Owen Roberts, I'm your host, Andre Davis. You have been listening to the sports edition of Outspoken right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.